What's up, people? This is your boy Cope from Beef and Bullets Podcast. Listen, if you haven't liked and subscribed to the channel, please do so. We're going to have some interesting content that's coming on, and I don't want you to miss it. So like, subscribe, stay connected as we continue on this journey. We're here today to continue on the topic of dating essentials. Last episode 1, we talked about character and dating marketplace value. Because those are things that, I believe, whether it be for yourself or the person that you're interested in, these are two components that I believe you must be considered when you're talking about building a long-term relationship or marriage with a person. You need to consider what is their dating marketplace value and what is their character. Today's topic is just as important, and it's communication. Communication may not seem like a big piece to some people, but communication is a leading reason why a lot of relationships fail, because somebody is not able to say something at the right time, right tone, right content. And so whenever communication fails, the momentum also fails. So here's some pieces I believe that you need to consider when you start looking at a person's communication or communication, what the communication looks like in the thing that you're building with the person. I think you need to consider what is this person's communication background? What is their education like? Were they high school dropouts and never did anything else as far as education goes? Do they have some post-school or some collegiate education going on that, okay, now they may have a little bit more expanded vocabulary? What do their circle of friends look like? What does their communication look like? Are they even communicators? You get some people that are introverts and they don't really talk much, and they just kind of keep things to themselves, bottled up, whether it be for personal choice or whether it be just from intimidation, if you will, intimidation of a situation or an environment. So they keep things all the way in until they get to know the person or the people that they're dealing with. Are they a person that use a lot of slang? Because sometimes slang can become a problem if both people are not privy to what that slang word in that particular scenario or situation means. So are they a person that use a lot of slang? Are they a person that use an expanded vocabulary where they like to use big words? And that's not a bad thing, because the only thing that does is it helps expand your vocabulary. It makes you more versatile. It makes you more effective in different markets in society if you're able to speak the language for the market that you're in. So you can consider those things. What is their communication level like? And then another component with the communication I believe that we should be considering is, are they abusive if they're not able to articulate well? Because some people, if they're not able to do something, they're not able to say something well, they get frustrated, they get angry with themselves, and many times they get angry with the person they're trying to communicate with, and they can snap and, I ain't stupid. Stop calling me stupid. Well, I didn't call you stupid. Where did that come from? And then the frustration sets in because they're just not able to articulate well. Believe it or not, there is a such thing as dating up or dating down. What do I mean by that? I mean that you can be a person that you communicate well, you articulate really well, you're able to explain pretty good, and then you mess around and for whatever reason, you connect with this person, male or female, that you believe that, hey, this could be the one, this is it, yeah, we finna go somewhere, and then you start talking to them and it's not reciprocated back. You're like, wait a minute. Okay. All right. Okay. So let me find my compromise. Let me see if I can kind of dumb this down just a little bit so that they can understand me. And where that may sound all good and well at first, but as time passes and continue to pass, and this person is not evolving in their ability to converse, that's going to become frustrating for you, especially if that is the lane of communication you frequently deal with. That's going to become frustrating. It's real easy to give or take a time or two, or for a spell of time for the honeymoon phase, but at some point in time, you're gonna take that to heart, and you're gonna be a little bit frustrated. And not only that, the person that you're communicating with is going at some point The more you dumb down your conversation, and the person realize it, they're going to become inferior with you. You ever had somebody get upset with you because you're able to do or say something that they can't, and then you try to break it down in simplistic terms, but because they're not comprehending or they're not able to communicate to you how to better break it down, that they catch an issue with you? They'll get mad at you. Oh, you think you smart. Oh, you think you all that. Those are inferior statements. When people say stuff like that, believe you me, those are not compliments. And they're not even necessarily just insults. Those are outbursts of inferiority setting into that person because they can't do that what you're doing. So if you're a great communicator and a person is not really good at communicating, whether it be because their vocabulary is just expanded or they just can't find the right words to communicate, trust and believe they're going to be inferior with how you communicate. And they're going to throw soft assaults on you for just functioning in the area that you normalize in. So those are some things that you got to consider when you start dating. How does this person communicate? How does this person communicate? Is this going to be a problem? Not just for me, but is it going to be a problem for them as well? Because without communication, nothing advances forward. Let me say it again. Without communication, nothing advances forward. And if you're not advancing forward, then guess what that means? That means you're wasting time. That means you're wasting time. And if you like, I feel like nobody has time to be wasted. Me, on the other hand, I am a straight communicator. Point A, point B. The shortest distance, they taught us in school, I don't know if you remember it or not, but in school they used to tell us all the time, the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. That is the way I communicate. And sometimes it comes off a little bit aggressive. Sometimes it comes off like, man, he cold-hearted. So I'm really not cold-hearted. I like to just get it all out, and then we can have a conversation about what I'm saying and what my intent was, because I don't want to miss what I was trying to say because I'm searching for trying to say the right words. I just say it, poop, spit out the meat, take out the bones. Let's put it on the table, and then we can discuss it. If I meant to be tough, insulting, aggressive, I always say you'll know it. If I meant harm or malicious intent, you'll know very clearly and quickly when I'm communicating that way. But that's just the way I communicate. And so any circle that I'm in, whether it be dating or whether it be a friendship, a partnership, or any other ship, one of the first things I communicate is, hey, now I may say some stuff that might sound a little bit, far left, but it's not. I just like to communicate straight, and then we can have a conversation. We can have a conversation about what I was trying to say, or how that particular means of communication may not have gone over well. Can you further explain it to me? And then we'll take some time, and then we'll unpack what I was trying to say. And sometimes it may be a little bit softer when we get to talking about it, and sometimes it may be a little bit more firmer when it comes out. One of the things I like to do when I'm talking to people, when I lead off, if I know it's going to have a little bit of, if I can tell it's going to have a little bit of bite, I'll say, now this is going to come with a little bit of steam. I go ahead and throw that disclaimer out so that, hey, you'll know that it's going to have a little bit of sting, but I don't mean any malicious intent from it. But this is the best choice of words that I can come up with to communicate this point. So I say this, it's going to come with a little bit of sting. This may come with a little bit of sting, and then we put it on the table. Why do I do that? I do that because that is the way I communicate. So I want people to understand how I communicate, especially if they're going to be in an intimate circle with me, or there's going to be somebody that I'm going to be communicating with on a regular basis. I want them to know how I communicate so they can better understand when it comes time to communicate. And I ask people, what is your best means of communication? Some people their best means of communicating is through text message. I don't take phone calls. I rather just text. And you got to be willing to respect that, because if you're going to get the most effective communication through text message. I believe that text message can be misconstrued, it can be misinterpreted, and there's a lot that can be missed through text. However, if that is their primary method of communicating, you got to be okay with that, and you got to consider that. And so that when you're talking to people and you're trying to date them and you're in that phase, I believe that that's one of the top things that you should consider. You should ask this person, what is your best means of communication? Me, I can talk on the phone some. I can text some. I prefer to talk in person, especially when it relates to serious content. When it's serious content, I prefer us to talk face to face. That way there's nothing left, because I know it's going to be a straight line communication. And then we can have a conversation and dialogue. And then I'm not trying to type a whole bunch of keys on the QWERTY keyboard trying to say what I can just say out of my mouth in a whole lot less quicker time. So communication then is a huge piece that's got to be considered when you start talking about dating and finding the right mate. Because again, if you're not able to communicate effectively, you will effectively lose the person that you're interested in. So again, take those three pieces, if you will, and just take those in consideration in the dating phase when you're ready to move forward with a person, or you're ready to put bricks and gloves to hand and the bill. Take those considerations, those pieces in consideration. What is this person's character? What is this person's dating place market value? And what does their communication look like? Take those three pieces together, and I'm telling you, I believe if you take those three pieces in, you're well on your way to building something very successful and something lasting. This is your boy Cope, Beef and Bullets Podcast. Shots fired. Till next time. Bye.